In a bizarre turn of events, Godzilla X Kong Supernova had wrapped principal photography, or at least we thought about it. Then we got reports that Godzilla X Kong Supernova was actually going back to shoot some more stuff in one of my favorite countries in this universe, Mexico. Now, I've not been to Mexico City, but they are filming a scene or sequences inside Mexico City. And courtesy of people that live nearby, I don't know if I can put it in this video for obvious reasons, but there's an aerial shot of what looks like civilians running away from said Titan. There's like the evacuation noise that's coming on. So I assume this is some kind of Titan attack or threat that was filmed in Mexico City. Now, it was first believed they were going to be just shooting background shots, pickup shots, and that kind of stuff. But it does appear that this is a brand new sequence for something, as we said in the prologue for this video. A little bit weird because they'd wrapped filming, but it might not be a scene in the sense of a new scene. It might just be a pickup shot or a backdrop for whatever Titan is seeming to, scare everyone. So, in the sense of a scene. Now, there was a public announcement for the production of Godzilla X Kong Supernova that was filmed for Mexico City, and it's in Spanish, but if you break it down into English, it just says the government of Mexico City reports that central lines in this place will be closed for the remainder of the day so they can shoot something from the movie, which is cool because Mexico has some of the most picturesque scenery in the world, in my opinion. So there's been a lot of drama on the internet, a lot of drama. So we're not going to talk about it because I don't think that one's real, but allegedly there has been a real, I don't know why I use the word real, because most of the plot leaks that I've been over turn out to be 100% true. But apparently there's been a Godzilla X Kong Supernova real leaked script that is all over the place. Is it real? We don't know. So I wanted to loosely talk about that. I think it's pretty cool that they're in Mexico City. I wasn't expecting it. It looks like it could be a mass awakening or some Titans. Like I say, you kind of hear the warning sign, the warning music that we've had throughout the MonsterVerse when Titans are attacking or some kind of variation of that, which is cool. It's pretty cool they're shooting in Mexico. So I get requests, I get messages all the time, make Godzilla content, make MonsterVerse content. It's not as easy as you lads and ladettes seem to think. So Shin Godzilla came out recently, but it didn't come out in the UK, sadly. So what I wanted to do is I want to go over some plot leaks that are the most realistic ones. So let's break it down, lads. In the midst of the second mass awakening of Titans, Godzilla has become increasingly stressed. Monarch, the secretive organization tasked with monitoring and understanding these colossal beings, scramble to uncover the cause of the global surge in Titan activity. Now, we see that on the first official teaser trailer they dropped. But as destruction escalates and public fears mount, world's governments grow desperate under the guise of cooperation. Military forces manipulate their way into a joint Hollow Earth expedition with Monarch, only to launch a surprise forced occupation of a Monarch outpost. The military begins exterminating Titans' dwellings within Hollow Earth, culminating in a brutal assault on Kong's great ape tribe. Here in the chaos, Shimo joins Kong in saving his tribe together, delivering a devastating counterattack that crushes the invading military forces. The betrayal, the carnage mark a turning point. Kong severs ties with humanity. Kong doesn't want to help humans anymore. Meanwhile, in a hidden sublayer of Hollow Earth, Godzilla is ambushed during a period of rest. Godzilla retaliates and his fury unites a personal war against mankind as both Godzilla and Kong turn their back on humanity. The planet is on the brink of total annihilation. Amongst the chaos, Mothra emerges, once again called upon as divine mediator of the natural order. She communicates to both Godzilla and Kong, delivering a dire message of survival of Earth depends on harmony between humans, the Titans. Though Kong is swayed by her wisdom, Godzilla remains consumed by rage. Just as a full-scale war between man and Titan looms, Monarch intercepts a mysterious series of faint distress signal deemed too weak to originate from Hollow Earth. As an apocalypse nears, Kong and Mothra and the young Titan Suku rally to confront a wrathful Godzilla. In the final act, unity and revelation, Godzilla is brought to a moment of clarity, understanding at last the Titans and humanity must stand together. Just in time, as it is revealed, the distress signal Monarch intercepts is coming from the moon, warning of a terrible space monster has a collision course for Earth, which is interesting. Then we receive this next bit here, which I've always said, Toho won't give up their characters so easily. So the next villain is supposed to be Space Godzilla, but there's this other one here that basically says Godzilla X Kong Supernova villain was originally supposed to be Space Godzilla, as we've predicted before anyone. I literally said it before anyone else. Like, just check your facts. But it proved too hard and too difficult, too restrictive to properly incorporate his origin into the MonsterVerse, as Toho's constant shutdown pitches, negotiations essentially came to a halt when his copyright licenses was deemed more trouble than it was worth for the script. If they couldn't bring him to life the way they wanted to, a new monster is a not so subtle workaround fans will recognize the nods in Power Set. So, as we've said before, we don't know if it's true or not true, but I think this is the most realistic one we've had so far. So apparently Greg is a super fan of the Shiro era and mid to late 90s Godzilla movies, especially Destroyer Monsters and Godzilla versus Space Godzilla. Supernova will pay homage to a lot of this stuff. Sensing the imminent space threat, a second mass awakening of monsters unfolds. Monarch's failure to properly control the Titans' situation and warn them of the public imminent disaster, the new empire, their operations are now being overseen by the government, who look to drive the Titans back into Hollow Earth. This comes into conflict with Godzilla and Kong and his kingdom. Mothra returns with a new egg. Rodan returns amongst the Titans Awakening. Behemoth has a cameo, so does Warstu, in a reference to a comic book. Director Greg co-wrote Behemoth, Godzilla, and Kong adoptive son, Suku Bond. Godzilla serves as the uncle of sorts. Monarch documents the strange signals. The space is imminent as it approaches Earth from a COVID outpost on the moon. The alien comes to Earth after intercepting radio signals scientists sent off into space in 1970. So, this does sound pretty cool. So those two bits of information are the most realistic plot information that has hit the internet that I believe is somewhat true. Now, I'm not saying it's 100% true, but if you go through all the kind of kaiju, MonsterVerse, factual information from the last bunch of movies, and you really think about what is Legendary trying to do here. Yeah, I know Warner Bros. Has 25% stake, but it's a Legendary movie, let's be honest. This does seem to me that it's the most realistic plot out there. We know something's coming from space. We know the government's going to constantly try to interfere with Hollow Earth and try to take over. So I think them two bits of information are the most realistic ones we've had. I am pretty surprised that they're filming some kind of potential Titan attack randomly in Mexico City after they've already wrapped up with principal photography. Now, this wouldn't be classed as would it be a reshoot? Reshoots are, technically it would be a reshoot. Technically, reshoots happen after principal photography. Just usually there's a little bit more time before the reshoots are done. But this movie is going to have heavy CGI, heavy VFX. Doesn't come out till 2027 though, which is a bit weird why they're doing reshoots. So like I said in previous videos, are they pushing this movie forward? Why are they doing reshoots this early? Now, I know my takes are a little bit wild, a little bit different, but at least you can say I don't copy other people. I am not generic. I am my own person. The fact they're reshooting this early, I think this is getting pushed to 2026 summer. That's why I think. I could be completely wrong, but who knows? So that's the update for the MonsterVerse at the moment. So like always, guys, I try my best to bring more MonsterVerse content. It's hard until they start the actual marketing campaign. Then it will be a lot easier for me to make content. But I'll try my best to keep talking about the Kaiju legendary MonsterVerse. So like always, guys, check us out on TikTok, Warstu. Check us out on Instagram, @Warstu. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch ya later.